Recording in progress.
Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well this morning. It's right at 9 o'clock. We will get started as soon as either ACDC or the jail gets on with us.
Thank you. Good morning,
Good,
everyone.
Good morning, Your Honor.
good morning, Ms. Falk. I hope you're doing well.
Thank you.
Ms. McLeod, good morning.
Good morning, Mama.
I see that we have a number of cases that needed a conflict. Have you been able to speak with everyone this morning?
No, Your Honor, I haven't yet. I tried
I'll-
calling the jail, but nobody answered.
Okay, I'll have you speak with them as soon as they get on.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Miss Falk, good morning. I sent you an email just now.
Okay, I'll check it right now. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good morning, courtroom two. We're ready to go whenever you all are.
Morning, Your Honor. We ready for
Okay, good morning. Who do we have first? And let me, is this Francois?
No, this is Saint Seren.
Yes, good morning, St. Sharon. Let's see. We have Ms. McLeod on the line. She needs to speak with a number of her clients this morning before she'll be ready. So, if you'll just accommodate her when you get the opportunity.
Okay. I'll give her a call.
Okay, thank you. Who do we have first?
We can go to position number 35, Mr. McNeil.
Ms. Kim, it's my understanding this is going to be a negotiated plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. McNeil. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we are conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, sir? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give it before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Okay, you can place your hand down. Thank you, Mr. McNeil. Good morning, Ms. McConkey.
Good morning, Your Honor. The state's recommendation for Mr. McNeil for count 1, the criminal trespass, is 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served 15 days, the balance suspended, that he stay away from 375 Whitehall Street Southwest in Atlanta. Count 2 is 12 months to run concurrent with count 1. I would ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification.
Yes, we do.
Anything further, Ms. Kim?
Nothing further from defense, Your Honor.
Mr. McNeil, it's my understanding that in case 25 CR 000469C, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass and criminal trespass damage to property. Is that correct?
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with her representation?
Hello?
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. McNeil. Good luck to you, sir.
Okay.
Chair in the back. Next, Your Honor, we could go to position number 50, Mr. Mario Walker.
This is also going to be a negotiated plea. Is that right, Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. I apologize. I try to find.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, Mr. Walker. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, sir? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can place your hand down. Thank you, Mr. Walker. Yes, Ms. McConkey.
Your Honor, the recommendation for Mr. Walker is 12 months to serve 28 days, credit for time served 14 days, the balance to be suspended, and that he stay away from all MARTA locations. I would ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification.
Yes, we do.
Is there a MARTA ban, Ms. McConkey?
Yes, he has a permanent ban from MARTA.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Walker, it's my understanding that in case 25 CR 000468J, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
Yes, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with her representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated. Mr. Walker, you understand that you cannot go back to MARTA. If you go back to MARTA, they're gonna rearrest you and you're gonna be right back where you are, okay?
Yes, sir.
That's, your client has a question, Ms. Kim? Does it have to do with the MARTA issue?
No. Oh, I'm released, right? Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
All right, thank you.
all right, good luck to you, Mr. Walker.
Good morning, Judge Morrow. This is going to be position number 52, Mr. Warren.
Thank you. Good morning, Ms. Officer Francois.
This is also a negotiated plea, Your Honor.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Warren. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, sir? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you, Mr. Walker. Mr. Warren, you can place your hand down. Yes, Ms. McConkey.
Yes, Your Honor. The state's recommendation for Mr. Warren will be 12 months to serve 86 days, credit for time served 43 days, the balance to be suspended, and that he stay away from the Walmart located at 844 Cleveland Avenue in East Point. And I would just ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification.
Yes, we do.
Mr. Warren, it's my understanding that in case 25 CR 000586F, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass. Is that correct? Was that a yes?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with her representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Warren. You know you can't go back to that Walmart, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Warren. Who do we have next?
Next, Your Honor, we could go to position number 30 through 31, Mr. Rico Lee.
Okay.
Lee.
Also a negotiated plea.
Yes, Your Honor. This is P.D. White's case.
Okay.
Edmonds.
Good morning, Mr. Leak. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, sir? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can place your hand down. Thank you. Mr. White, good morning.
Good morning, Judge. 1 second, please.
Okay.
Judge, I believe the announcement was wrong on Mr. Leak. I'm gonna need a minute to speak with him. We're moving on to somebody else.
Okay, all right. So we'll be back to you, Mr. Leak.
Does that say clean on this?
Yes. Your Honor,
Yeah. he's out there.
we can go ahead and go to position number 30. Fifth 45, Tompkins.
Okay.
This is negotiated, Your Honor.
Okay.
This is 45.
Yes. Good morning, Mr. Tompkins. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, sir? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Sir.
Thank you. You can place your hand down, sir. Yes, Ms. McConkey.
Your Honor, the recommendation for Mr. Tompkins for count 1, the criminal trespass and damage to property, is 12 months to serve 32 days, credit for time served 16 days, balance suspended, that he stay away from 2950 MLK Junior Drive, Southwest in Atlanta, that he have no further contact with Ajarni Moore. For count 2, it is 12 months to run concurrent with count 1. I would ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification. And our office has spoken with the victim in this case who states that she agrees with the plea. I would just ask the court to sound for Ajarni Moore.
If Ms. Moore is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity. Doesn't appear so. Ms. Kim?
Yes, we do stipulate.
Mr. Tompkins, it's my understanding that in case 25 CR 0004455E, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass and damage to property and criminal trespass. Is that right?
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with her representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Tompkins. Good luck to you, sir.
Next, Your Honor, we can go to position number 43, Mr. Sims.
This is also a negotiated plea, Your Honor.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Sims. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, sir? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can place your hand down, Mr. Sims. Thank you. Yes, Ms. McConkey.
Yes, Your Honor. For count one, the recommendation is 12 months to serve 32 days, credit for time served 16 days. The balance to be probated, that he take an ADET and have no firearms in his possession. Count two is 12 months to run concurrent with count one. I would ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification.
Yes, we do.
Mr. Sims, it's my understanding that in case 25 CR 000452F, you wish to plead guilty to possession and use of drug-related objects and reckless conduct. Is that correct?
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with her representation?
Yes.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated. Mr. Sims, when you complete the terms of the probation, I'll have it go to a non-reporting status. So the sooner you get it done, the sooner you won't have to report to probation and pay those fees. Does he have a place to reside? Do you know, Ms. Kim?
Yes, he does.
Okay. Good luck to you, Mr. Sims.
Your Honor, we could go back to position number 31, Mr. Lee.
Okay.
Ready to proceed with the plea, Judge.
Okay. And Mr. Leach, you are still under oath in this matter. Yes, Ms. McConkey.
The recommendation for position 30, battery family violence, is 12 months to serve 104 days, credit for time served 52 days. The balance probated, that he have no further contact with Kathy Holmes and that he stay away from 1006 Mason Turner Road. He undergo an FBIP and have no firearms in his possession. Do you want me to do the recommendation for position 31 as well?
Yes, please.
For position 31, count one, the simple battery family violence, that will merge with count two, the battery family violence. The recommendation for that is 12 months to serve 120 days, credit for time served 15 days. No further contact with Kathy Holmes. Stay away from that incident location at 1006 Mason Turner Road. FBIP, that he undergo an MHET and remain compliant with any treatment plans and have no firearms in his possessions, of course. Our office has spoken with the victim in this case, Ms. Kathy Holmes, who states that she agrees with the plea and states that the defendant will need to get some belongings for her residence. So upon his release, a police escort to get the rest of his belongings. And I would just ask the court to sound for Ms. Kathy Holmes and the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification.
If Ms. Holmes is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity. Okay, Mr. White.
That's right, we do. Your Honor, we do stipulate, for the purposes of the plea, we would just ask that you waive, 3 months of probation fees. He's going to have to find a new place to stay, and has been in jail, 15 days at this point. And there's a high likelihood that he's going to lose his job. So it has to waive at least 3 months of probation fees and allows probation to go non-reporting as soon as he completes all the requirements.
Okay. Mr. Leak, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 0031111G, you wish to plead guilty to battery family violence. And in case 25 CR 000464G, you wish to plead guilty to battery family violence. Is that correct?
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation? You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No.
I'll accept your pleas as negotiated. Mr. Leak, I will waive 3 months of the probation fees to help you get and stay on your feet. And as soon as you complete the terms, it'll go to a non-reporting status. So the sooner you get it done, the sooner you won't be on reporting probation and have to pay those fees. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next, Your Honor, we can go back chair to position number 5, Mr. Blackman.
Okay. What's the announcement on Mr. Blackman?
It's going to be a negotiated plea, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, Mr. Blackman. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, sir? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. You need a minute, Mr. White?
Actually, Your Honor, we do have one issue. My understanding is that this occurred 1/6/25, and he did not have a first appearance hearing for another couple of weeks. If that is the case, that we'd ask that he be allowed a signature bond on this violation of the 72-hour rule.
Can you give me the date? He had to go through SEA at some point, I would imagine.
He doesn't know the exact date. He said it was 2 or 3 weeks later.
Few weeks ago.
Just Tuesday.
So I think that was the 27th.
I think maybe the 27th, Judge.
And Your Honor, the 27th was the day the warrant was put into the jail system. So he was booked in, quote unquote, on that warrant on the 27th, which according to him is the day he had his first appearance. And you can see that in the jail screen.
But
It actually shows that as his date of arrest under charges. So this would not be in violation of Riverside.
So I didn't put it until,
we're in agreement, Judge. We assume there was probably an investigation before he was actually charged. And okay, makes sense.
Okay, so you'd like to proceed with the plea?
That is correct.
Okay, very good. And I believe that I've already sworn Mr. Blackman in. Yes, Ms. Falk.
Yes, Your Honor, the state's recommendation is on count 1, 12 months served, 112 days, credit for time served, 56 days. That is from December. Wait, actually, that is from, I take it back. So it would not be, that would not be his time served since he served less time on that offense. Let's see, 1/6 to today would actually be about 35 days, according to that calculation. So we will reduce that to 70 serve 35. from January 6, 2025 to today, and balance probated, as well as a $300 fine. Count 2, 12 months concurrent with count 1. Count 3, 12 months concurrent with count 1. The defendant is still in custody on a foreign county hold, so he will not be released from jail as a result of this plea. That's all for the state. We do ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification for the purposes of the plea.
So he's done with Fulton County, so he should be released to the hold.
He should be released to the hold, yes, but he's not
Okay.
going to be released to the street.
Right. Fair enough.
Is there what I find out what the whole,
Do I?
you know, what I find out where I got the whole from?
Yeah, we can do that. Okay. We do stipulate, for the purpose of the plea, Judge, ask that you, waive the first month of probation fees. He has been in jail 56 days at this point, and then allows probation to terminate upon completion of the fine.
What was the reckless conduct, Ms. Falk? You're on mute there.
The reckless conduct, as well as the obstruction and the simple battery, all involve this defendant throwing feces at the officer.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Blackman, it's my understanding that in case 25 CR 000448Y, you wish to plead guilty to willful obstruction of law enforcement officers, simple battery against a detention officer, and reckless conduct. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at the present time?
Your Honor.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
Your Honor.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated. Let's see. I'm not going to waive any fees. I'm going to encourage you to get that $300 fine paid as quickly as possible. But once you do that, I'll have the probation terminate, sir. So the sooner you get it done, the sooner you won't be on probation. All right.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Black.
Thank you. What about you?
We'll see. Give me a minute.
Next, Your Honor, we can go to position number 7 through 8, Mr. Carr.
I didn't want to.
This is 7 through 8.
Okay, thank you. What's the announcement on Mr. Carr?
Oh, Mr. Carl, it's negotiated plea, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, Mr. Carr. I am Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, sir? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Speak up a little bit for me, Mr. Carr.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. You can place your hand down. Yes, Ms. Falk.
Yes, Your Honor. On position 7, the state's recommendation on the simple battery family violence is 12 months to serve 16 days, credit for time served 8 days from October 5th to October 12th of 2024, balance probated. Stay away from the Motel 6 located at 1377 Virginia Avenue. Family Violence Intervention Program, no further contact with Jamacia Turner, and no firearms. Count 2 is 12 months to run concurrent. Count 3 will merge with count 1. Position number 8 is 12 months to serve 126 days, credit for time served 63 days from December 11th, 2024 until today. Balance probated, no further contact with Jamacia Turner. Family Violence Intervention Program, no firearms, and count 2 would merge with count 1. The Family Violence Intervention Program can be satisfied by the defendant completing the conditions in his previous case involving Ms. Turner, 24 CR 003831H. The state would ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification for the purposes of the plea. We would like to sound at this time for Ms. Jamacia Turner, or Jamacia Turner, excuse me.
Ms. Falk, that case that you just cited, is he on probation for that at the present time?
He is currently on probation for that, yes.
Okay, and when, can you tell me when he began the probation?
He began probation, and I can pull that up. I believe it was August, but let me just double check and make sure the date of the sentence. So he entered a guilty plea November 4th of 2024. So he had been on probation for about a month when this new offense happened. And his previous sentence was, let's see. It looks like it was just a 12-month sentence. With, I'm not seeing jail time. It was a 12-month sentence probated with 40 hours of community service, a $300 fine, family violence intervention program, and no further violent contact.
Okay, so basically he received the sentence for family violence
That is correct.
against the same victim. As
Yes.
soon as he got out, he reoffended.
Yes.
Changing that, actually
All
today,
right.
for those of you that didn't
And
know,
he
a
is,
couple of our
Okay, thank you.
and
Yes, Ms.
he
Falk.
he has now been in custody for 2 months on the new offense.
Okay, thank you.
Judge,
Um,
position 7 is actually predates the plea.
That is correct. I was only speaking about position 8 when I said he had been out for about a month when he committed the new offense.
okay. I was just saying if he had had any opportunity to start the FVIP, but apparently, given that he's still been in custody, he probably hasn't even started on that probationary sentence. I would imagine. Okay, thank you,
And-
Ms. Falk.
And I don't
Yes.
know if I asked to sound for Jamacia Turner, but if she is here and would like to speak, we are asking her to turn on her camera and her microphone.
Thank you. Ms. Turner, if you're with me, and you would like to be heard, now is your opportunity. Okay, doesn't appear so. Mr. White?
Sure, we stipulate, for purposes of plea, we would also ask that you just accept the plea as negotiated and allows probation to go non-reporting upon completion.
Okay. Mr. Carr, it's my understanding that in case 25 CR 0000560A, you wish to plead guilty to simple battery, family violence, and theft by taking. And in case 25 CR 0000563A, you wish to plead guilty to simple battery, family violence. Is that correct? Speak up for me.
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at the present time?
No.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No.
Okay, I'll accept the pleas as negotiated. I believe that he needs to be on probation for the entire time, given the history here. As such, I will not waive any fees. I'm going to require that he be on reporting probation for the entire 12 months. Good luck to you, Mr. Carr.
Thank you, Judge.
Judge, I have position number 3, Ms. Brianna Beard. Just
Okay.
FYI, she is cuffed back, so she's not going to be able to raise her right hand.
Okay, thank you. And Ms. Kim, this is going to be a negotiated plea, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, good morning, Ms. Beard. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Okay, thank you, ma'am. Yes, Ms. Falk.
Yes, Your Honor. On position 3, count 1, driving following too closely, it will be a time served plea, 52 days, credit for time served, 26 days from November 10th to December 10th, to January 4th of 2025. Count two, it would be 12 months served, 52 days, credit for time served 26 days. That's going to be from December 10th, 2024 to January 4th, 2025. Balance probated, a $500 fine. No further contact with Frederica Evans. Position 4, the criminal trespass, will be 12 months served, 30 days, credit for time served 22 days. That's from January 20th of 2025 until today. Balance suspended. Stay away from the Speakeasy Lounge located at 156 Forsyth Street Southwest. We would like to, at this time, sound for Frederica Evans, and we do ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification for the purposes of the plea. That's all for the state.
Ms. Evans is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Doesn't appear so. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor, we would like to stipulate. So one thing that $500 fine, my client lost her job, so we would like to request that that should be converted to 50 hours of community service. And yeah, we also request for 2 months of probation fee waived.
Okay. Ms. Beard, it's my understanding that in case 24 CR 008071H, you wish to plead guilty to following too closely and hit and run. And in case 25 CR 000351H, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass. Is that correct?
What hit and run case that I was on? I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
Ms. Kim, it sounds like you need to talk with her. She has some questions about the, sounds to me she has some questions to do with the following too close.
Okay, I can talk to her. Maybe she can call me.
Judge, this is the MH, so
Okay. Ms. Kim, how do you want to handle this?
We would like to set the case to Thursday, 11 a.m.
I would like, it's given this a time served plea. I don't want her to have to sit any longer. Can we at least get you to talk with her? And
Sure.
maybe you'll be able to answer her questions. If you can't, then I will reset it. But and if there are other issues that need to be addressed, if you could bring them back before me, Ms. Kim.
Yes, I'll do that.
Okay, all right. So
Wow.
can we make Ms. Beard available for Ms. Kim?
Sure.
Yeah, because yes, I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to go home. I don't know about a phone.
Okay, but Ms. Beard, I want to get your question answered, okay? So
Okay.
we'll come, I'll let you speak with Ms. Kim and we'll come back to you as soon as you get all your questions answered, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Your Honor, I have a question for Kim.
Okay,
Yes.
The announcement sheet you put for position 36 to 38 MHC, what does that mean?
Oh, mental health court. The other cases were actually at mental health court, so he wants this case to be transferred to that court as well.
Okay, so he's not needed for today.
No.
Sorry, PD Kim, I just had a question. I saw that 2 of his 22 CR cases, there was a motion to terminate his participation in mental health court back in 2023. Is he back in now?
No, not yet.
He is back in. He's back in. He
Okay.
is to be seen before Judge Kirk on Thursday.
Okay,
Awesome, thank you.
thank you.
Your Honor, we can go on to position number 53 to 54, Mr. Wilfong, and that's Mr. Crowder.
what are we doing with Mr. Wilfong today, Ms. McLeod?
This is going to be a negotiated plea, Your Honor.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Wilfong. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, sir? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Say it again for me, Mr. Wilfong. Okay, you're gonna have to, maybe you have to scoot up or something. We can't hear you, so.
I do.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Mr. Wilfong. Yes, Ms. McCockey.
The state's recommendation for Mr. Wilfong is 12 months to serve 28 days, credit for time served 14 days, the balance to be probated, that he have no further contact with Eric Walker, that he stay away from 1580 Childish Drive Southwest in Atlanta, that he undergo 8 weeks of anger management and have no firearms in his possession. And I will ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification, and the court to sound for Mr. Eric Walker. He does have an FTA position 54. We will be null crossing that upon the plea.
Okay. If Mr. Walker is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. Doesn't appear so. Ms. McLeod?
Yes, Your Honor, we stipulate to venue the ID for purposes of this plea, Your Honor. And I would also like to ask the court if my client's probation could be suspended once he completes the 8 weeks of anger management. My client had actually been offered diversion at some point in time, but he was not in Georgia at the time and it just didn't get done. So he essentially, it was not considered that this case was so bad that he had to actually have probation. So I would just like to ask the court to take that into consideration.
Okay, thank you, Ms. McCall. Mr. Wilfong, it's my understanding that in case 22 CR 005874Y, you wish to plead guilty to battery, is that correct? Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with her representation?
Yes.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury? Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Wilfong. When you complete the 8 weeks of anger management, I'll have the probation terminate. So the sooner you get that done, the sooner you're not going to be on probation, okay?
No.
All right, good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Welcome.
I also have Mrs. Scott that's going to be a plea, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Who do we have next?
Go to Mr. Scott, 41 and 42.
Good morning, Mr. Scott. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, sir? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Sorry.
Thank you. You can place your hand down. Yes, Ms. McConkey.
Your Honor, the recommendation for count 1, the criminal trespass, is 12 months to serve 32 days, credit for time served 16 days, balance suspended, and that he stay away from 1155 La Vista Road, Atlanta, which is the reserve at La Vista Walk Apartments. Count 2 is 12 months to run concurrent with count 1. I would ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification.
You do so stipulate.
And position 42 will be null crossed.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Scott. It's my understanding that in case 23 CR 001053F, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass and loitering and prowling. Is that correct?
Sorry.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at the present time?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with her representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
Okay, I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Scott. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next is position number 17, Ms. Fields. She need to be interviewed, I think.
Let's see, Mr. White, are you representing Ms. Fields?
Yes, Judge, when we thought she was out here, so yeah, I'll need to speak with her.
Okay, and where is Ms. Fields? I'm sorry.
Today.
Okay, there she,
Medical,
good morning, Ms. Fields.
Good
So
morning.
can we call medical?
No, we don't have a phone up here, sir.
Okay, so we're gonna have to, let's see, why don't we go, can we, Mr. White, how do you want to do this? I
I'll
can go
be
back to
happy
eight.
to. I can go to breakout room, Your Honor, since it will be easier for me to go to breakout with medical and interview if
Oh.
Kamala does not mind.
Thank you. That works. That's,
Okay,
Miss Kim, Miss Kim, the only thing is you have a client here at ACDC,
Oh.
the MH.
Sorry. Oops.
okay, so let's take your client at ACDC first, and then then I'll place you into the breakout room with medical. Will that work?
Yes.
Okay, and you had tell me again, I'm sorry, this is Miss Beard, right? Have you answered her questions?
Yes, I did.
Are we ready to proceed with the plea?
Yes.
Okay. Are you ready for me, Miss Beard? Did you get all your questions answered?
Yes,
Okay, so you're still under oath. So the question that I initially asked you, Miss Beard, is that it's my understanding that in case 24 CR 0080718, you wish to plead guilty to following too closely and hit and run. And in case 25 CR 0003518, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass. Is that right?
yes,
Okay. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
no,
You've been represented by Ms. Kim. Are you happy with her representation?
yes, I am.
And you understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges. And because you're pleading guilty to them, you're giving up that right. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated. I will convert the $500 fine to 50 hours of community service. As soon as you complete that community service, I'm going to have the probation terminate. And I'm going to waive 2 months of the probation fee so you can get that 50 hours done. So try to go ahead and get that done within those first 2 months, and you won't have to pay any more fees, and you can be done with all this. Okay, Ms. Beard?
Okay, thank you.
All right. Good luck to you, ma'am.
You too. Thank you.
Okay, ACDC, do you have just one left there?
Yes, we just got one more.
And is that Ms. Kim's or Mr. White's?
This is Miss Kim.
Okay, let's go ahead and do this before I place Ms. Kim in a breakout room so I can let you all go there, okay?
Thank you, Judge.
All right, and who do we have?
This is gonna be position number 44, Smith.
Okay.
Oh, how you doing, Storm?
I'm doing well, Ms. Smith. I hope you are as well. This is a negotiated plea, Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, this one also, we would like to request $500 fine to be converted to $50, 50 hours community service.
Okay. Good morning, Ms. Smith. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, ma'am? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Ms. McConkey.
Yes, Your Honor. For count one, that is 12 months to run concurrent with count two. For count two, the theft by shoplifting, that is 12 months to serve 60 days, credit for time served 16 days. Balance to be probated, that she take an anti-theft course, pay a $500 fine, stay away from the BP gas station located at 4335 Fulton Industrial Boulevard, that she have no further contact with Sharon Sayampu, and that she have no firearms in her possession. I would ask the court to sound for Mr. Sharon Sayampu and also for the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification.
If Mr. Sayampu is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity. Doesn't appear so. Ms. Kim?
Yes, we do stipulate, so Your Honor. She also has no job, so we would like to request for 2-month probation fee waived and also probation to be terminated upon completion of those classes and community service.
Okay. Does she have a place to reside, Ms. Kim?
Yes, she does.
Okay. Ms. Smith, it's my understanding that in case 25 CR 0000428F.
I like
Yes,
to,
Ms.
when it comes to having a place to stay, so I'm trying to get into a program, so that's what I really like. So I know I don't have a safe place to go. I want into a safe program. And I talked
Okay, so what I'm gonna do, Ms. Smith, is I'm gonna have a social worker visit with you to see if they can help you out with that, okay? All right, you're welcome. So my question to you, Ms. Smith, was that in case 25 CR 0000428F, that you wish to plead guilty to terroristic threats and theft by shoplifting, is that right?
okay.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at the present time?
Yes, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with her representation?
Absolutely.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up that right to a trial by jury? Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty? Okay, I'll accept the plea as negotiated. Ms. Smith, let's see, I'm going to waive 2 months of your probation fees so that you can get on your feet and get the anti-theft course and the 50 hours of community service complete. When you complete the terms, it'll go to a non-reporting status, which means that although you'll still be on probation, you won't have to pay those fees. I want you to have a social worker visit to assist you with housing and any other needs that you might have. Good luck to you, Ms. Smith. Okay. Thank you. All right. Will I see you this afternoon, Francois?
Yes, Judge, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, see you then. See you this afternoon. Can we go ahead and place Ms. Kim and medical into a breakout room, please?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Grace. And courtroom, I see that we have South Annex on the line. Do we want to take South Annex?
Judge, if we could wait a little while on the South Annex,
Okay.
a little more communication there.
Okay, that's fine, Mr. White. Anyone else in courtroom 2 that we can take right now?
Yes, Your Honor. We can go ahead and go with position number.
Your Honor,
21, Mr. F.A. Eastmore.
Okay, was the South Annex trying to get my attention?
yes, sir. My question is, do you want him to wait right here? Or do you want me to go ahead and take him back to the pod?
No, let's not take him back. You want to keep him there, right, Mr. White?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, can we keep him there for just a moment?
We can.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right.
And I'm sorry, tell me again who we have in courtroom 2?
21, position number 21.
Okay, thank you. And what is the announcement on Mr. Isabor?
It's gonna be a negotiated plea, Judge.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Isabor. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, sir? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can place your hand down. Thank you. Yes, Ms. Falk.
Yes, Your Honor. The state's recommendation is 12 months served 60 days, credit for time served 27 days. That's from January 14th, 2025 until today. Balance probated. SDET, stay away from all property of the Fulton County Library System. No further contact with Megan Nicole. At this time, we would like to sound for Miss Megan Nicole, if she is present, would like to speak. And we do ask the defense to stipulate to venue factual basis and identification for the purposes of the plea. That's all for the state.
If Ms. Nicole is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity. Doesn't appear so. Yes, Mr. White.
Your Honor, we stipulate for the purposes of the plea, we would just ask to waive 3 months probation fees. The evaluation may take some time. Additionally, he's unemployed at this point, has no income. So we'd ask that you waive 3 months of fees and allow his probation to go non-reporting upon completion.
Okay, Mr. Isabor, it's my understanding that in case 25 CR 0000287F, you wish to plead guilty to 1 misdemeanor offense. Is that correct?
You want to enter a guilty plea? Do you still want to enter a guilty plea to the charge?
Yeah.
Say, tell him, not me.
I want a guilty plea.
Okay. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No.
You've been represented by Mr. White there. Are you happy with his representation?
Yes.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, sir. Does he need any other services that we can help him with, Mr. White?
It's possible, Judge. When our
Okay.
is here, I will have them speak with him.
Okay, thank you. I'll accept the plea as negotiated. I'll waive 3 months of the probation fees to help you get and stay on your feet, sir. Once you complete the terms of the probation, it'll go to a non-reporting status. We'll also have a social worker visit with you to assist you with housing or anything else that you might need. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next, Your Honor, we can go to position number 15 and 16, Mr. Edmund.
That's Mr. Clark.
What are we doing with Mr. Edmonds this morning, Ms. McLeod?
Your Honor, I was hoping that we would be able to resolve his cases today. There is no global offer yet. I had contacted Ms. Falk, and I was hoping she'd get back to me to see whether or not there would be a global offer to resolve all of Mr. Edmonds' cases.
I did respond to Ms. McLeod by email. She did email me this morning about doing a global offer, and I explained to her that there were two issues. One, the cases were not received, have not been received by the clerk's office. That's why I asked for a 1-week reset so we could get all the cases together. And two, one of these cases involves a victim that we have not made contact with because we recognized that the case hadn't been put on the calendar and needed to be added. So I can't violate Marcy's law, even for the excellent reason of handling all of these cases at the same time, which is why the state requested a 1-week reset.
I did not receive your response back, Ms. Falk.
Totally understand. I sent it about, according to my email, I sent it about at 9:58, so about 5 minutes ago.
Oh.
Okay, so will this be a time served plea offer or not?
I don't know, Your Honor. I didn't get a chance to review all of the cases, so that's why we asked for the 1-week reset. What jumped out at me is when I went to pull up this case, I saw he had 2 other cases that also had not been added to the calendar. And so I added them to the calendar to let the clerk know that next week we need all of these cases on the calendar so I can make a global recommendation. But the fleeing and eluding will carry at least 30 days in jail statutorily, as well as a $1,000 fine.
And how long has he been in jail at the present time?
Well, on the fleeing and eluding, let's see.
I believe he has already done more than 30 days on that, because the offer I had received back in July already indicated that he had spent at least 30.
And I'm only asking because I don't mind resetting it for a week, but if it's going to be a case where he would get out before that time, I don't want to keep him in custody any longer than the court would have to. And if we can reset it till Thursday, I would do that. But if it doesn't make a difference, I'll just reset it for my calendar in a week.
Your Honor, this defendant is on literally enough felony cases that they don't even encompass, they go past to the screen. So he's not getting out of jail on these charges at any time soon. He's on no bond status. Yeah.
All right. So if it's okay with you, Ms. McLeod, we'll reset it for a week.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Edmonds, we'll see you back next Tuesday.
Sure.
That's 2/18, I believe.
Next, Your Honor, we can go to position number 9, Mr. Cloud. Yep.
Okay, And this is going to be a negotiated plea, is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Cloud. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, sir. Yes, Ms. Falk.
Yes, Your Honor. The recommendation is 12 months served 28 days, credit for time served 14 days from January 28th, 2025 until today, balance probated, no further contact with Jaquie Payne. Stay away from 1612 West Cleveland Avenue in East Point, anti-theft course, and $45 in restitution to Mr. Payne. At this time, we would like to sound for Mr. Payne. Mr. Payne, if you could unmute your Zoom and come onto the video if you are present and would like to speak. We also ask the defense stipulate to venue factual basis and identification for the purposes of the plea. And the address, just for the clerk, is the business of Mr. Payne. He owns that business. He is a barber.
Mr. Payne is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Mr. White?
Your Honor, we stipulate for the purpose of the plea, we just ask you waive 1 month of probation fee so that he can apply that to the restitution and allows probation to terminate once he completes all of his requirements.
Right. Mr. Cloud, it's my understanding that in case 25 CR 000472F, you wish to plead guilty to theft of service. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at the present time?
My medication.
Okay, that doesn't inhibit your ability to give this, to take a plea, does it?
He's asking, does you understand what's going on?
Right, yeah, I do.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. You've been represented by Mr. White. Are you happy with his representation?
Yeah, very.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
Okay, I'll accept the plea as negotiated. Mr. Cloud, given that you only have to do a theft course and pay the restitution, I'm not going to waive any fees, so I encourage you to get that done as quickly as possible, but I will terminate the probation as soon as you get that done, okay?
$45 in restitution.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, good luck to you, Mr. Cloud.
Position 17, Ms. Fields.
Okay,
Your Honor, this is negotiated plea.
okay. Good morning again, Ms. Fields. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, ma'am?
Yes,
Yes. Thank you, ma'am. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, you can place your hand down. Thank you, Ms. Fields. Yes, Ms. Falk. You're on mute there, Ms. Falk.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state's recommendation is 12 months served 64 days, credit for time served 39 days. That's from October 12th to October 30th of 2018 and January 23rd, 2025 to today. Balance probated, ADET, FVIP, and no further contact with Serena Fields, no firearms. We would ask the defense to stipulate to venue factual basis and identification for the purposes of the plea, and we would like to sound at this time for Ms. Serena Fields.
If Ms. Fields is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity. Does not appear so. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. I was informed that Ms. Serena Fields is in jail right now. That's why she cannot come to the court. This happened in 2017, and I believe there was a failure to appear during the COVID pandemic time, and we just want to make sure that we get no price for that paperwork for this failure to appear. And Your Honor, we would like to request probation to be terminated upon the completion of the classes.
Okay. I don't have a failure to appear on my calendar, and Ms. Strong is telling us that there is not a failure to appear. So it does not appear that that there's anything to that will be holding her, Ms. Kim.
Okay, that's good.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank
Can she also have a 2 months probation fee waived? She is currently disabled. cannot work.
Okay. Ms. Fields, it's my understanding that in case 18 CR 003680E, you wish to plead guilty to simple battery family violence. Is that correct?
Yes,
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at the present time?
no,
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with her representation?
I am.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and if by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated. Ms. Fields, we'll waive 2 months of the probation fees to help you get and stay on your feet. And when you complete the terms of the probation, I'll have it terminate given the age of it. So, good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you. I'm going home.
If you don't have anything holding you, which you
I
apparently
don't.
don't.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, all right. Good luck to you, Ms. Fields. Okay, anyone else in courtroom 2 that we can take?
Yes, Your Honor, but at the moment, Tom is on the phone with South Annex. So we'll
Okay,
just off the phone.
okay, so I'll hold till then. Ms. Kim, are you representing any of the DV bench warrants this morning?
I'll be happy to, but I have to interview them, Your Honor.
I understand. I know that I see Mr. Gurrell has been on the line all morning. Mr. Mays is also on the line. Good morning, gentlemen. That calendar that you're on for starts at 11 o'clock. I'll see if I can work you in before that time. I'll have Miss Kim, who is a public defender, call you so she can discuss your cases with you before I hear it. So, do you have their numbers, Miss Kim?
The one that we have is not really reliable. I was wondering maybe they can call me 404-612-1122. My office number.
Okay. Or while we're waiting, given that we're waiting on Mr. White, why don't I just go ahead and place you into a breakout room, Ms. Kim, with let's start with Mr. Gurrell.
Thank you.
Okay, can you hear me, Mr. Gurrell?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, am I pronouncing your last name correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so I'm going to place you into a breakout room right now with Ms. Kim so you can discuss your case, okay?
Okay.
All right, and when we're done with that, Mr. Mays, since you've been on the line for a while, I'll have her come into a breakout room so she can discuss your case, okay? All right, so while we wait, can we place Ms. Kim and Mr. Gurrell into a breakout room, please?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Okay. Court will be in recess until one of the attorneys returns.
Your Honor, Tom's back. And we could go to position number
I'm sorry, say it again for me.
20, half.
And this is going to be a negotiated plea, is that right? Mr. White?
That's correct, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Ham. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, sir? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Right.
Okay, you can place your hand down. Thank you, Mr. Ham. Yes, Ms. Falk.
Yes, Your Honor. On this case, on count one, the simple battery, the state's recommendation is 12 months served, 90 days, credit for 27 days. From January 16th, 2025 until today, no further contact with Marquisia Turner. Stay away from 3540 North Camp Creek Parkway in Atlanta. FVIP, no firearms, and count two will merge with count one. We had an opportunity to speak with Miss Turner, and she does agree with this plea. She stated she will be here on Zoom. We would like to sound for her at this time. If she would like to speak, Miss Turner, you'll need to turn on your video and turn off your mute. Your Honor, the state asked the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification for the purposes of the plea. That's all for the state.
Thank you. If Ms. Turner is with us and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. Does not appear that she's with us. Mr. White?
Your Honor, we just ask to accept the plea as negotiated, allow his probation to go to non-reporting once he's completed all of his requirements. And we would ask that you waive 3 months fees. He does have another 18 days in jail to do. And that will be 45 days at that point. So.
Okay, I'm not sure who this is saying that I am present. It's a Leo Presley. Does Mr. or Leo Presley have anything to do with the Ham case? Okay, I'm not sure who that is, but I acknowledge that someone said that they're present.
It looks like he's on the DV bench warrant calendar.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Ms. McCockey. Mr. Ham, it's my understanding that in case 25 CR 000290J, you wish to plead guilty to simple battery family violence. Is that correct?
Sure.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Ham. I'll waive 2 months of probation fees to help you get on your feet and get a job. Once you complete the terms of the probation, I'll have it go to a non-reporting status. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next, we can go to position number 32, Mr. Lewis.
Also a negotiated plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Lewis. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, sir? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you can place your hand down. Thank you, Mr. Lewis. Ms. McConkey?
Yes, Your Honor. This is going to be a time-served plea. Looks like he has been in jail for a total of 25 days. I would just ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification.
We do stipulate, Judge. It's a 9-year-old case. So.
Okay. Mr. Lewis, it's my understanding that in case 17 CR 014097F, you wish to plead guilty to battery, substantial physical harm, and cruelty to children. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, Your Honor.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Lewis. Good luck to you, sir.
Judge, we're gonna have, he has inquired about housing, so we're gonna have a social worker speak with him.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Mr. White.
Next, Your Honor, we can go to position number 1 through 4 on the add-on calendar. Mr. Brown.
Okay, what are we doing with Mr. Brown this morning?
It's a bond hearing.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Brown. I'm
Morning,
Judge
Brown.
Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Let me start out with getting his Ms. Washington, good morning. May I get his history, please?
Your Honor, I did not receive the add-on calendar, so if someone could forward me that, I don't have him. If I had a first name, I may be able to look it up, but I don't have the add-on calendar.
If
Okay.
you could provide me with your email address, I can forward this to you.
Okay, thank you.
So if you could just put that in the chat, I can send it over to you right now. And Your Honor, I can go over the defendant's history in the interim.
Okay, tell me about the failure to appear first. Who did you fail to appear in front of?
Your Honor, there were actually 2 FTAs in this matter. There are 2 different offenses, 22 CR 005738E. Both cases are in front of Judge Morrison. On that date, he failed to appear. Let's see. Looks like a bond forfeiture hearing was held on the warrant was issued September 5th of 2023 was when the case entered dormant status and a warrant was issued. On the second case, 23 CR 004961, the warrant was issued, it appears to be on, looks like it was set on a bond forfeiture judgment calendar on March 6th of 2024. And that's the date we have on that case. Both of these cases, as I said, are before Judge Morrison. The defendant also has a new offense. The new offense is a possession of drugs, which is 24 PI 009471. He does have a surety bond on that as well in the amount of $100. On the other 2 cases, Judge Morrison issued a $3,000 cash bond and a $4,000 surety bond. In addition, the defendant also has a no bond on a foreign county hold out of Union City. For all those reasons, we would ask that this case be placed on Judge Morrison's calendar so she can address his failure to appear before her on the 2 different occasions.
Okay, Mr. White, you know my practice is I am always reticent to modify any other judge's failure to appear bonds unless there's some outstanding reason. Is there any reason that this should be returned to Judge Morrison?
Your Honor, I do understand that. I will note that the state was willing to let him out of jail today if he entered a guilty plea. But we believe that notice was not sent to the proper address, and therefore he never got notice.
Okay. Given
Others, I was wondering if anybody could chime in as to.
I am not seeing, and I would ask for the clerk's assistance in this. I'm not seeing a return to sender notice.
Doesn't mean
On
they go to the wrong address.
either case.
What's the address that is listed, Ms. Falk?
The address we have, let's see. And I will need the clerk's assistance with this because I'm not seeing, the address that's listed on the bench warrant is 9493 Lakeview Road, Union City, Georgia, 30291.
Has your client ever lived at that address, Mr. White?
That was the address he was told to stay away from, Judge, so he has not
Okay.
been back to that address.
So it appears that he did not update his address from the
Well-
address that he was previously at and told to stay away from.
That's not true. He was itinerant, sort of didn't really have a place to stay once he was told to stay away from that, but then he provided the address of his business.
And Your Honor, I'm not seeing an updated address, but again, if the clerk could assist me with this, just to make sure I'm being, giving candor to the court, I don't see an address update notification in the system.
The only other address I see, and it looks like he updated it when he was, well, this was updated in December, was 670 Parkway Road, and before that, it was 5330 Old National Highway.
That's the address. Is there a suite C listed?
No suite at all.
That's the problem, Your Honor.
Ms. Strong, when you say there was no suite listed, was the address updated by the defendant or someone else?
One moment.
I can guarantee you he didn't type it into the computer.
Is this for the, are we referencing the 5330 Old National?
The Old National address, correct.
This was updated by someone in magistrate court, but this was back in 2021.
Okay, that would be for potentially the stalking case, but the battery cruelty to children happened in 2023.
So between 2021 and 2023, there was nothing. The Old National was updated in 2021, and the only other thing that was updated in the system after that was what was in December of last year, and that was
Up until then, the address was his business where he anticipated getting his notice, and he did not receive it because they did not put the suite address on there.
What position is this again? So I can look and see if it's inside.
Add-on.
This is position, let's see.
Add-on.
No, it's the add-on calendar, positions 1 through 4. And Your Honor, I kind of feel like this is exactly why Your Honor doesn't address this in this forum, because of how much back and forth there is, as opposed to in front of the court, in front of Judge Morrison, where everything can be reviewed with ample time.
No, he's not going to get a fair shake in front of her, so.
Excuse me?
I was referring to.
There's nothing in the file showing where anything was updated or anything other than the information that's in the system.
Okay, so because he is on a no bond status in another case, and it is my practice that I let the judge who issued the FTA deal with the modifications if he or she chooses to do so. I'm going to follow my practice in that regard. And
I'm sorry, that no bond is in another county, so he would.
Correct, Your Honor. It's his foreign hold. He does have a bond on the other felony case that he picked up last year.
okay, well, regardless, I'm going to return it. I'm going to follow what I normally do. Good luck to you, Mr. Brown.
Get to speak with him, Judge.
Of course.
Your Honor, we can go to position Thompson.
I think that, is Ms. Kim still in the breakout room?
Haven't seen.
Ms. Kim is still in a breakout room, so we'll have to take, Mr. White, do you want to go ahead and talk to him and we take a break, or how do y'all want to?
Whatever's easiest, we also. Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Portuguese.
Okay.
Whatever's easy.
Whatever you all want to do, just let me know. I'm happy to do it.
We also, which position 14?
It's
Oh, position 14 is second.
asking about the 14. 10 through 13 or 14?
14.
Mr. Davis.
Is that on there?
So, full sheet.
Let's get downtown for it.
Okay, so we'll be in recess, and Mr. Michael McKee, I see your note there. Thank you for being here this afternoon. This morning. I'll be with you. We've been trying to get up with you for the last couple of weeks for your son, so I'm happy to hear as soon as we get to your son, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I apologize. No one let me know until Saturday of this
okay,
weekend. So I've been trying to reach out to the public defender's office, Mr. White. No one's called me back, so I'm here to find out what's going on.
Thank you, Mr. McKee. I've been dealing or been speaking with your son for the last 2 weeks since he first came before me. I just wanted to make sure that we got in touch with a family member in this matter. So I'm happy that you're here today. So we'll be with you, sir. Okay.
Yes, sir. No worries. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Court will be in reset. Oh, Ms. Kim, let's see. So since you're back, let me go ahead and place you into a breakout room since we're on a break with Mr. Mays here, who's also on the DV calendar, okay?
Sure. Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you with me, Mr. Mays?
I have one of Kim's clients.
Actually, I represent Mr. Mays. I'm also with
Oh, okay.
I've already interviewed him, and we're ready
Okay.
whenever the court is.
Okay, no, Miss Pinto, good
Thank you.
morning.
Good morning.
Let me finish up with my well, we can do that if no one's ready to go.
I have one of Kim's clients in courtroom 2, Your Honor.
In courtroom 2? Okay, so who do we have there?
Position number 39, Marcus Clayton.
Okay, and that's going to be a plea, Ms. Kim, position 39.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, let's go ahead and do Mr. Quavy. Good morning, Mr. Quavy. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, sir? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can place your hand down. Thank you, sir. Ms. McCockey, yes.
Your Honor, the recommendation is 12 months to serve 34 days, credit for time served 17 days, the balance to be probated, that he pay a $300 fine, do 40 hours of community service. I would ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification.
Yes, we do. We would like to request that $300 fine to be transferred to changed to 30 hours of community service, Your Honor, and also probation to be terminated upon completion of community service.
Do you have a place to reside, Ms. Kim?
I want to verify. Do you have a place to reside, Mr. Quavy? My note does not say it does not. So,
Mr. Quavy, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, do you have a residence that I can help you out, if you need for me to help you with housing? Do you need that help from the court?
I have residents.
Okay, thank you, sir. Anything further, Ms. Kim?
Nothing further from defense, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Quavy, it's my understanding that in case 25 CR 0000429Y, you wish to plead guilty to willful obstruction of law enforcement officers. Is that correct? Did you hear my question, Mr. Quavy?
Heard.
And do you wish to plead guilty to that offense?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No.
You've been represented by Ms. Kim. Are you happy with her representation?
Yeah.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yeah.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No.
Okay, I'll accept your plea as negotiated, Mr. Corby. So though you'll have 70 hours of community service to do. As soon as you do that community service, I'm going to terminate the probation. So the sooner you get it done, the sooner you're not going to be on probation, okay?
All right.
All right, good luck to you, sir. Okay, so we'll wait for Mr. White. While we're doing that, Ms. Makaki, are you handling any of the DV bench warrant cases today, or?
I am, Your Honor.
Okay, so let's start with Mr. Mays there. Ms. Pinto, are you with me?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, so it's my understanding that Mr. Mays missed a court date. Is that right, Ms. Makaki?
Yes, it looks like you missed a planned arraignment calendar before Judge Dixon on January 24th.
Ms. Pinto?
Yes, Judge, that is what resulted in the bench warrant before the court today. When Mr. Mays was released from Fulton County Jail on December 31st of last year, he went to the courthouse to make sure they had the correct address for him. They do have the correct address. However, he still did not receive notice. He went back down on earlier this month after having not heard anything. And that's when he found out that he had missed court on January 24th. So he's done everything he can. He has been trying to be responsive to the process, just for whatever, issues with the mail or what. I'm not sure. He didn't get notice for the 24th. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear what you
Do
said.
have his correct address at the present time, is that right?
Yes, it is the correct address, and he is now represented by our office. So we also are in contact with him, and I'm certain he will not miss any more court dates.
Okay, so it's my practice, Ms. Pinto, that on the first time I've set it aside, so I'll set this aside for Mr. Mays at this time. If you all
Thank
keep
you.
in touch with each other to make sure that we don't miss any further court dates and we move this along. Okay, so Ms. Pinto, if you can prepare that set aside and get that to Ms. Strong, I'll get that signed and entered, okay?
Yes, and I'm sorry, KC Strong, is that who I sent it to?
That's correct.
Okay. Thank you so much, Judge.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Mays.
And may we be excused?
Yes, thank you. Since we're still holding, let's go to Mr. Garrell. Ms. Makaki, I take it that he also missed a court date?
Yes, it looks like he also missed a planned arraignment calendar before Judge Dixon on January 24th.
Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. He resides with his mother. They have a correct address, but he never got any mail. But when I shared about the state's plea recommendation, he wants to take that as a no-low content date.
Okay. Let's see. I take it Ms. Makaki is going to object to a no-low plea, given the nature of the charge.
Your Honor, it looks like this is his first and only arrest. So
So you're not gonna object to a no-lo?
let me take a look. Give me 1 second. Yes, we will be objecting to this no-lo plea, Your Honor.
Okay, you tell me that he has no other charges
This is his
or
first
no other
arrest.
arrest? Okay.
Yes, based on his GCIC. So we're just objecting based on the nature of the allegations.
Okay, which is what I thought that you all normally do. But what I will do, Ms. Kim, given that he has nothing else, I will accept a no-lo. Have you prepared that paperwork?
I will prepare.
Okay, so I'll need for you to prepare the paperwork and go over it with him, and then I'll come back to take.
Oh, already
And
noted.
did you notify Ms. Clark, Ms. Mokaki about the hearing today?
I'm just going to take a quick look at our victim advocacy notes
Ms.
to
Clark
ensure
and
that
Mr.
she received
Ledger.
notice. Just give me a brief moment, Your Honor, just taking
Okay.
a look at our victim advocacy notes to see that the individuals were informed of the hearing. I do not see in our notes that the victims were contacted in regards to today's bench warrant.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, Ms. Kim, is I'm gonna have you set aside this bench warrant today.
Sure.
I'm gonna go ahead and place, since he wants to take a plea on the matter, I'll go ahead and place him on next week's calendar so that we can get that plea taken. I will still allow him to have a no-lo next week. Is that fine with you, Mr. Guerrero?
Yes, that is fine with me.
Okay, so we're gonna place you on our 9 o'clock calendar on February 18th to take a plea in this matter. Okay? All right, so we'll see you back next week. You have all his contact information so you can, and if we're ready for that plea, we'll get you in and out as quickly as possible next week, sir, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you are free to go this morning. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Mays, did you have something more that you need with the court?
No, I was just trying to see, do I have am I gonna get another court date in the mail?
Yes, you will. This case is gonna, bench warrant is gonna be set aside, and the division judge, will issue your next court date. But you need to stay in touch with Ms. Pinto in her office to make sure you don't miss any other dates, okay?
Okay, thank you so much. So I'm free to leave.
You're free to go, okay?
Yeah, and I'll give you a call, Mr. Mays.
Okay, thank you so much.
And Mr. White, I don't know if you heard my conversation with Mr. McGee earlier, if you've had time to talk with the father of your client.
I haven't, we've been focusing our efforts on his sister and her fiance, but.
His dad is on the line and is
I just talked to him and he told me about his father, so yes.
okay. Do you need to speak with him?
That would be great if,
and I'll tell you right now, Mr. White, my inclination is if Mr. McGee is willing to assist and to house his son, that that I will go forward by issuing him a signature bond to be released to Mr. McGee. If that's what you all want, I'm just saying that.
Yes, okay, absolutely.
Okay. Would you like to speak with him now to see?
I would. I guess we would probably need to do that by phone.
Probably so. Mr. Michael McGee, are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm gonna have you call. Can we get Mr. McGee and this is Public Defender White here that I'm gonna have you talk to regarding your son, okay?
Okay.
Okay, and can we get Mr. McGee the number to call so that he can speak with Mr. White, please?
But I don't know that number. We're getting it. I was talking to the deputy. I know the number,
Okay.
but not that one. 2 or 3. Okay, so it's 404 612 2392. You can call it right now. I'll be right there.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'll come back to courtroom 2. Ms. Kim, I also see Mr. Leo Presley on the line. Would you speak with him regarding the DV bench warrant calendar?
Sure.
Mr. Presley, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good morning, sir. I'm gonna have you speak with Public Defender Kim here regarding your case. So we're gonna place you into a breakout room, okay?
All right, thank you.
Okay,
You're
Judge.
welcome, sir. Thank you.
And Your Honor, we can do position number 14. That's Mr.
That's whose case?
Skies.
Oh, okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
You got it set. So you know.
What position are we on?
This is Mr. Davis.
Yes, sir.
All right, good morning, Mr. Davis. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Sir.
Okay, you can place your hand down. I take it that this is going to be a negotiated plea, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Ms. Falk.
Your Honor, is this position 14 Ciron Davis?
Yes, it is.
Okay. On the criminal trespass, Your Honor, the state's recommendation is 12 months served 24 days, credit for time served 12 days. That is going to be from September 6th, 2024. He served 1 day, and then from February 1st of 2025 to today. Balance suspended. Stay away from the BP gas station located at 1990 Donnelly Hallwell in Atlanta, Georgia. We do ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification for the purposes of the plea. That's all for the state.
Mr. Chataya?
We stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identity.
Okay, Mr. Davis, it's my understanding that in case 24 CR 006309E, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass, is that correct? Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at the present time? You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, I am.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury? Say it again for me, sir.
Yes.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Davis. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
We can go ahead and do
Okay.
Ms. Cobb's case. That'll be position number 10 and 13. Mr. Davis, Mark Cloud Davis.
Ms. McLeod, are you with us? Ms. McLeod?
Yeah, please. I appreciate it. We'll get back on with each other.
Well, while we wait for Ms. McLeod, we could go back to Mr. Tom's client.
Okay.
Which one?
South Annex.
Okay, where are we going now?
We can go back to South Annex, Judge.
Okay. Okay, and where are we with Mr. Green's matter?
Judge, my understanding is that his father will take him temporarily, and then he'll be living with his sister and aunt. So, but we are in contact with several family members that are willing to give him some housing. We just ask that you give him a signature bond and let him come back the next day.
Okay, and I know that I've been working with this case for the last 2 weeks. And we've had Ms. Hardage here with us. She was with me for the SEA calendar. She was with me for last week's SAP calendar. She was very concerned about this young man. My concern was that he's only 17 years old and that I was reticent to release him without having someone from his family here to be responsible for him. So that's where I left the case last week. Ms. McCockey and Ms. Falk, would either of you like to sound in?
We did speak with the victim's mother, Miss Hartage's mother, and she was in agreement with the plea, which was for 32 days, credit for time served 18 days. This case, I believe, if I am correct, let me just go back to the system on this one.
Who did you say his mother's name was?
No, the daughter, the child's name. I didn't say the mother's name.
The alleged victim in the case.
Correct. The minor is who I was referring to, but I was stating the minor's mother weighed in. Let's see. So this was the incident where, you know, the daughter of Ms. Hartage ran away and was taken by the defendant to an unknown location, who he was on, and she was on an ankle monitor at the time, which was then removed. And so, you know, the state doesn't have an objection. This is, I believe, hold on, let me just double check and make sure I'm correct. This is the defendant's first offense, but we would like there to be a condition that he must stay away from Miss Malaya Hartage and her mother, Miss Elizabeth Hartage, and stay away from the 1514 North Park Lane address in Alpharetta.
Already been over all that, Judge.
And right, and we say no further contact. I just want to make it clear for Mr. Rashad Green, none whatsoever, no phone calls, no text messages, no emails, nothing.
Okay. Anything further, Mr. White?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, and Mr. McGee, you're gonna have to come and get your son from custody. That's gonna be part of my order.
Okay, I got a quick question.
Okay, yes, sir.
His sister lives in Atlanta. She is 19 years old. I live in Lexington, South Carolina. Is she able to get him and bring him?
I'm not, I was reticent to release him to a 19-year-old. Are you able to come and get your son?
At this juncture, no, sir. I own my own electrical company, and I wouldn't be able to come get him until maybe Friday or Saturday. So I was just trying to say whether I could, you know, let her pick him up and then drop him off to me, or because I didn't want him to have to wait any longer.
No, I understand. I've been working with your son for the last 2 weeks, and that's been my concern that we find someone. So when you say does he plan on coming to being dropped off to you in South Carolina?
Yes, sir. I already have arrangements with her, if allowed by you, to pick him up. And I've already sent funds to her and her boyfriend for gas and travel to get him down here to South Carolina today.
Your Honor, I'm going to go ahead and object. Lexington, South Carolina is less than 3 hours away from here. He can make his way here and come pick up his son.
Your Honor, it's still a family member. He's going there. There's an intermediary. I don't understand why the state object.
Because this is no different than releasing him to the 19-year-old, which was the problem in the first place.
Well, we didn't have anyone to release him to be quite honest. I did not want this young man to have to stay in jail for the last 2 weeks. The mother of the victim has been here. She did not want him to be in jail for the last 2 weeks. She's been very empathetic. They're two teenage young people. And because of a snafu that we had after the SEA calendar, Mr. Green has been sitting in jail long. I put him on for a week after the SEA calendar because I wanted to see him a week after the SEA calendar because I did not want him sitting in jail for 2 weeks to get on this calendar. There was a snafu and no one saw him. So he sat there for a week without the PD's office trying to contact anyone to get this young man out of jail. I am reticent to let him sit in jail any longer because I did not want him sitting there to begin with. There are some difficult, it appears, family situations. So what is your daughter's name? What is his sister's name?
I apologize for interrupting. His sister's name is Tiara, Tiarra, Glover, Glover.
Okay, and Mr. McGee, can you give me your address?
Yes, sir. My address is 141 Hunters, Hunters, Mill, Mill Drive, and that's West Columbia, South Carolina, 29170.
Okay, because I've been with this case from the beginning, I am going to have Ms. Glover pick him up, drive him straight to you, Mr. McGee, and you're telling me that your son is going to live with you at your residential address. I'm going to require that he stays there until this matter is resolved. Okay,
Yeah.
you're in agreement. You're in agreement with me on that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, is or has he been in school?
He has been in school. He was, when he was living with me to begin with, doing the Penn Foster online high school diploma program. He was almost finished and he got in some trouble around here and left and went to Atlanta. We've been having some issues with him. I got him mental health counseling, things like that. I guess at that point in time when he left and ran away, nobody likes my rooms in my house, unfortunately. But I spoke to him on the phone the other day when like I said, I didn't find out he was actually incarcerated till Saturday.
Okay.
I would have been reached out.
Okay, I understand that, and that's why we've been trying to get up with someone.
Yeah, I spoke with him, and he's willing to do what he needs to do to get this over with. And like I told him, if I let you come here and I have any problems, I'm not going to do nothing but call the court and let him know. And he knows I will.
Okay, so I'm going to have him also enroll back in school. So
yes, sir.
that's going to be a condition of his release. It's also going to be a condition of his release that he has a curfew. That curfew will be he's going to have to be in by 9 p.m. every evening, and he cannot leave until 6 a.m. To allow him to go to job or to a school. But I don't want him just sitting around your house. I want him to be active, either in school or working somewhere. Okay?
Yeah, yes, sir.
He is to have no further contact with the alleged victims in the case, the minor child or her mother, and he's to stay away from their residential address.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and Mr. White, it will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1 with those conditions. If you can get all that paperwork to me so that we can get this moving along. Ms. Falk, I will also ask that you take a look at this case and talk with, have someone in your office talk with the alleged victim's mother. She's very forthcoming. She's been very responsive. So if we can see what your office can do to facilitate some type of moving this case forward.
Right.
Okay.
We did speak to her, Your Honor, and she was in agreement with the plea.
Right. I understand she was in agreement with the plea, but that was also last week before we could find someone to help with this young man. I also understand that there's been an issue prior where you all worked with him with this same type of situation. So if you
That
can
is
have
correct.
whoever that was, look into this again for the court, if you don't mind.
And just to clarify, we spoke to her yesterday.
Okay.
But I will reach out to her again and see if her opinion has changed since then.
Okay, thank you. I know she's been with us every time and she's been very forthcoming and she's been very pleasant and she's been very empathetic to this young man. Yes, Mr. McGee.
So this plea, if he just went ahead and did that today, would he just be done with it?
I'm not gonna accept the plea on this today, Mr.
Yes, sir.
McGee.
So will I
Okay.
get information on the mail of when he needs to be returned back to court?
Yes, you can talk with Mr. White and we'll
Okay.
make sure that we have all that so that he gets proper notice. Okay,
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
White?
And what's a signature bond?
That he's gonna be released, he's not gonna have to pay any money.
Okay, so basically OR?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Great.
okay. Ms.
Yes, sir.
Strong, okay, Ms.
I just
Strong,
wanted to confirm this is 1,000 on each, right?
that's correct. Okay, anything further on this matter?
Judge,
Mr. White?
just for the conditions, I want to make sure I've got everything. Enroll in school, curfew, no further contact, and stay away. Did I miss anything?
Drugs, alcohol, weapons, as normal. Okay. All right, and Mr. Green, can y'all unmute there at the South Annex?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you know that I've been working with you for the last 2 weeks. I am going to release you so that you can go live with your father. You're going to have to follow his rules and you're going to have to follow my rules, okay? You can have no further communication with this young lady, okay? And no communication means absolutely no communication, okay?
Yes, sir.
So no texts, no emails, no internet, anything. So no communication at this point in time, and you're to follow your father's rules and regulations of his household. You understand me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good luck to you all.
Thank you.
All right. Who do we have next in courtroom 2?
Go back to position 1 through 4 on the add-on, Mr. Brown.
Your Honor, Mr. Brown has decided he'd like to accept the state's offer and enter a plea.
Okay. And have I already sworn Mr. Brown in?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, you're still under oath, Mr. Brown? Yes, Ms. Falk. This is on the add-on calendar.
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
Okay.
The state's recommendation is to count 1 is 12 months consecutive with case 23 CR 004961E. No further contact with Tabitha Brown. Stay away from the home and workplace of Miss Tabitha Brown. FVIP and no firearms. Position 2 will be null prost. Position 3 is on count 1, the family violence battery, 12 months, serve 90 days, credit for time served 45 days. That is from December 29th, 2024 until today. Balance probated. No further contact with Tabitha Brown. Stay away from the work and home of Tabitha Brown. FVIP, no firearms, and 40 hours of community service. On the cruelty to children in the 3rd degree, 12 months concurrent with count 1. And position 4, the state will be entering a null pros upon a plea to an underlying offense. That's all for the state. We would like to sound for Ms. Tabitha Brown and do ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification for the purposes of this plea.
Thank you. Ms. Brown is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Yes, Mr. White.
Your Honor, we discussed the accept the plea as negotiated. We would ask that you waive 3 months of probation fees. We believe there's a high likelihood that Mr. Brown has lost his business and has no work at this point. And we'd ask that the probation go to non-reporting upon completion.
Okay. Mr. Brown, it's my understanding that in case 22 CR 005738E, you wish to plead guilty to stalking, and in case 23 CR 004961E, you wish to plead guilty to battery, family violence, and cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. Is that correct? Have to answer verbally for me, sir. We still can't hear you. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at the present time? Okay, we can't hear you. I'm sorry, mister. You're gonna have to scooch up for me or something because we're not getting.
No.
Okay. You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury? Was that a yes?
Yes.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
Yes.
Listen to my question. Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
Your Honor, can I speak?
One second, please, Judge.
What else mean?
Hey, Judge, you can ask the question again, please.
Okay. Mr. Brown, my question to you was, has anyone forced you or coerced you to plead guilty to these charges?
Mr. Honor, what I was going to say is that the forcing is because my children have sent a letter in stating that I did not do anything to them. I was under the impression once they took it to the courthouse downtown and sent the letter in that you guys would be able to read their letter and, and it would stand for something. But if I have to say guilty to, if I got to say to get out, then I'm guilty.
Okay, so no, you don't have to, I'm not gonna, have you, Mr. Brown, listen to me. I'm not gonna have you plead guilty to something that you're telling me that you're not guilty of, okay?
My business though, my children depend on me and I lose my business, Your Honor. So what's my choice? I'm pressured.
Well, let's
put the letter in. I don't know what else to do.
Okay, so again, Mr. Brown, I can't not let you plead guilty and you're telling me that you're not guilty. I take it that he has a bond?
He does, Judge.
He does.
Okay, so your case is going to be returned to the division judge, Mr. Brown. You'll get notification of your next hearing date, sir. Okay.
All right. Is there any way that you could bump me?
What I'll do, Mr. Brown, is I'll have you continue to talk with Mr. White there and his office. If they can speak with the solicitor's office and provide them with the information that you tell me or that you have, then that's a way that you can proceed forward. So you all can continue to talk and talk with the solicitor's office, and I'm sure that that the solicitor's office will be reaching out to Ms. Brown or whoever the alleged victims are in the cases as we move forward. Okay. All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Your Honor, if Ms. McLeod is ready.
Ms. McLeod, are you back with me?
Draw where a case.
I'm not sure if Ms. McLeod had to go to another court, but I see that she's still on the line with us, but she's not responsive. Can we give her a call, please, Ms. Grace?
Yes, that's what I was about to come on and say. I'll reach her, Judge.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Grace. I appreciate it. Anyone else there in courtroom 2 that we can take? If not, good afternoon. Oh, good morning, Mr. Adams. How are you today?
Good morning.
Let's see, Mr. Adams, you are representing, Ms. Lopez, is that right?
That's right.
Okay, is Ms. Lopez on the line with me?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, good morning, Ms. Lopez.
Mr.
Ms.
Grace.
Ms. McConkey, I take it that Ms. Lopez missed the court date?
She did, Your Honor. She also missed a plea and arraignment calendar before Judge Dixon on January 24th, 2025.
Yes, Mr. Adams.
Yes, if I could have a moment to speak with the solicitor.
Okay. So we'll place you into a breakout room with Ms. McConkey there. Ms.
Okay.
McConkey, do you have Ms. McLeod's case, or is that Ms. Falk?
Which case is Ms. McLeod's case?
Mr.
It's
Davis,
mine,
and
Your Honor.
I apologize. I received a call from state court,
No,
which is
no, you're fine, Ms.
I
McLeod.
was thinking.
I knew you were probably taking care of additional business, so, okay, so let's place, Mr. Adams and Ms. McConkey into a breakout room, and, while they do that, so we're gonna place you into a breakout room, Mr. Adams, so you can discuss.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay.
And, and is this Mr. Davis, Ms. McLeod?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Davis. Good morning again. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you can place your hand down. What are we doing with Mr. Davis this morning?
It's a negotiated plea today, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. Yes, Ms. Falk.
Yes, Your Honor. On position 10 and 11, those are going to be null prost upon a plea to the underlying offenses. Position 12, count 1, the willful obstruction of an officer, time served 28 days, credit for time served 15 days, from July 7th to July 9th of 2023 and January 24th of 2025 until today. The same for the pedestrian and roadway. That's going to be a time served plea for the same amount of time. On position number 13, on count 1, the reckless conduct, the state's recommendation is 12 months, serve 120 days, credit for time served 47 days. That's going to be from December 3rd to December 4th of 2024, June 9th to July 4th of 2023, and so it's December 3rd to December 4th of 2023, June 9th to July 4th of 2024, and January 2025 to today. Balance probated, no firearms, 40 hours of community service. On count 2, the possession of a pistol by a person under the age of 18, it is the same recommendation, 12 months, serve 120 days, credit for time served 47 days. As for the willful obstruction, it will just be 120 days, credit for time served 47 days. The pedestrian and roadway, 120 days, credit for time served 47 days. The state would ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification for the purposes of this plea. That's all for the state.
We do so stipulate.
Okay, anything for you, Mr. McLeod?
Yes, Your Honor. We were asking that once he has completed his community service, if the probation could go non-reporting.
And Your Honor, we'd object to that based on the nature of both of these, the nature of the 2024 case.
And tell me about that, Ms. Falk.
Yes, Your Honor. So that incident, let's see, let me just pull that up for the court really quickly. So a couple of things to take note of just before we get started. This is actually the defendant's the defendant has been arrested. He is on his third arrest. The most recent arrest includes, and let me just make sure I'm seeing that right. The most recent arrest includes the failure to appear, theft by taking, the fleeing and eluding, willful obstruction, and the FTAs that are associated with that. He also has a 25 PI 0057 case that it looks like is also set with no bond, if I'm reading this correctly, as well as theft by taking and willful obstruction. So he also has a new case involving the same type of offenses as his previous case. In the previous case that involved on Friday, December 2nd, 2022, officers were at a location doing a proactive enforcement detail at 10th Street and Techwood, identified the defendants selling hats and other clothing in the roadway. The defendants then took flight from the officers. While in pursuit, they did attempt to evade him, and officers did recover a fully loaded Glock with 17 rounds of 9mm bullets, as well as cash and a Chime debit card with name Christopher Rowan in his possession. The defendant at the time was 17 and was not legally allowed to be in possession of a firearm at that time, and he had discarded it in a public area, which created the danger, which is why he was charged with reckless conduct. As I stated, subsequent to this, he has now been charged with fleeing and eluding, theft by taking, and obstruction of an officer in felony court, and is being held on a no bond status, which is why the state is objecting to any sort of early termination on this case.
Okay, anything further, Ms. McLeod?
Nothing further, Your Honor. My client seems to want to say something. What is this about, Mr. Davis? Is there something you need to clarify?
Gun was semi. It wasn't fully auto. It wasn't no fully gun. And another thing, I was falsely accused for murder last year, so they got something to do with probably the stuff that you talking about. I was falsely accused for murder. I got gang charges. I had 2 murders. I was really falsely accused because I'm dismissed on all the charges. So this part, I don't want y'all to just think I'm just like any bad man, and this stuff be going on in the jail still to this day because they think I killed somebody, like still to this day. So I still be in a fight for my life, and I don't really want to get in trouble, but I gotta protect myself. I really be faying for myself. I'm just.
Well, Mr. Davis, you cannot have any firearms as a result of this plea. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if they find you, if you get out and you're caught with a firearm, not only could you possibly be charged with that, but you'd be in violation of this probation that you're going to be on. So it sounds to me, Ms. McLeod, that Ms. Falk is right, that he needs to be monitored for at least the next 12 months while he's on probation. Okay, so with that said, does he still want to enter into this plea at this time?
Mr. Davis, do you still want to enter into the plea?
So I still got to be on probation after the 40 hours of community service.
Yes.
I'm going to have you monitored for the term of the probation, Mr. Davis.
So if I don't do the plea today, then what will be the next?
Well, you have the opportunity to go to trial, as I explained to you.
I just take the plea, but I was looking forward to get a lawyer because I was falsely accused of whatchamacallit. So if my attorney can help me with that, then that'd be good.
Just so I understand that he has some other pending charges in Superior Court.
He does, Your Honor.
Ms. McLeod, it might behoove him if you would speak to whoever's representing him in Superior Court to make sure that this is not going to adversely affect him with those charges. So why don't we do this? Why don't we reset this for at least a week to give you the opportunity?
I think that would be a good idea.
Okay, so I'm going to reset your case, Mr. Davis, so we can do some additional research. I just want to make sure that if you take a plea to this, that it's not going to adversely affect your other charges that you have pending, okay? So I'm going to have you come back before me next week once Ms. McLeod can do some more investigating, okay?
Okay, so I cannot do the plea there.
If you choose to go forward with the plea next week after speaking with Ms. McLeod, then I'll allow you to do that, okay? But if you don't want to, that's fine also. But I'm gonna give it a week so that we can do some additional research.
Yes, also, Mr. Davis, as I discussed with you, even if you accept this plea offer, you're not gonna get out of jail now, so you are not harmed by allowing it to go on for another week.
But I was saying like, cause I go to court on my new charge, my new charge is on the 18th, and I know if I get a bond, I'll be most likely to my family be most likely to pay it, and I'm most likely to come home.
Okay, well, you'll be back before me on the 18th as well, so. All right.
I'll be back on court by the 18th.
No, you'll be back with me on the 18th. That's a week from today, will be the 18th.
All right, so that's fine. That's fine, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. I'll see you next week.
Thank you,
Mr.
Your Honor.
Davis. You're welcome. Anything further? Would you have another case, Ms. McLeod?
Do not, Your Honor.
Okay, am I gonna see you this afternoon?
I have not been asked yet, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. Have a good rest of your day.
You too. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Adams, do you have an
Yes, sir.
announcement for me?
Yes, we will not be able to do a plea today, Your Honor. We would like to send it back to the state court. She missed court, I understand, because he had another court with the same person and got him confused. So we'd ask that the PTA be withdrawn and refer it back to the state court.
Okay, so is the other case in a different jurisdiction, Mr. Adams?
No, I mean, saying, child support payments, same jurisdiction. She just got her court dates confused. Yeah.
Okay. And we have her correct address?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And did you receive notice?
I
Ms.
received the-
Lopez, you just confused it with another case that you have.
Yes, I have a child abandonment case and a restraining order case with the same defendant. So I kind of got the court dates mixed up. Just a lot going on in my head. I'm sorry about that.
Okay, so it's my practice that I will set aside the bench warrant on one occasion. So this is your one occasion. If you miss court again, the bench warrant won't be set aside. But
Sir, and can I also because I have a new job, but as this being an open case, it's affecting me starting my job, and I'm the only parent to my kids. I have to support, and it's holding me back from starting my job because I have an open case on my record. So I wanted to know if there any way that we could get this resolved today.
Well, I told you that.
okay, well,
Because the
were you wanting to enter into a plea on this matter, Ms. Lopez?
The defendant has been at Grady Hospital going through withdrawal. I was up there. I had to help him. So he doesn't want to go further with the case. He wasn't even the one who pressed the charges on me.
Okay, well, I don't believe that the state's going to dismiss the charges, especially without speaking with the alleged victim in the case. If you want me to give them the opportunity to do that and to place your case on another calendar to see if we can dispose of it, possibly next week, I'm happy to do that. Otherwise, this case is going to be reset and returned to the division judge, and you'll get notification of your next hearing date.
This is the thing. I'm supposed to start my job on the 17th. So I told them that I had court today and hopefully I could solve it so I can go to work and support my kids, because if I can't work, I can't support my kids.
Okay, I understand what you're telling me, Ms. Lopez, and I have
I'm the
empathy
only
for
thing.
that.
I'm all my kids got. If I can't work, then how am I going to support my kids? Because this is my first case in like 10, 15 years, and it's affecting my employment. And it's really, it's affecting me and everything else because of this situation that wasn't even, this is some straight, like I said, the defendant is at Grady going through withdrawal. So it's something that wasn't, something that I was falsely accused of. And it's not fair to me because it's affecting my livelihood.
Okay, so again, Ms. Lopez, there's only so much that I can do. So I can set aside this bench warrant at the present time, which I'm inclined to do. Okay, so I'm gonna set this aside, the bench warrant. Now I can either have Ms. Makaki reach out to the victim and place this back on another SAP calendar so I can deal with it within the next week or so, or I can return it to the division
The
judge.
defendant is at Grady going through withdrawal, and then he's going to
Okay,
rehab.
Ms. Lopez, you're telling me that, but that's all, they have to do their research into that. I can't take that on your word, ma'am. Okay? So I would have to give the
We'll
state.
continue to try to reach out to him. We have tried to make contact with him and haven't been able to do so. If he's in the hospital, that might explain why, but we would like to talk to him first.
He just got to the hospital yesterday. He doesn't want to contact you. He's not going to contact you. He doesn't even want nothing to do with the case. That's what I was told. He does. So it's like, it's kind of affecting me because he's not going to respond to you. He hasn't. You've been contacting him since December. He hasn't reached out not one time.
All right, Ms. Makaki, Ms. Falk, how would you all like to proceed?
Well, the state's concern, Your Honor, is Ms. Lopez, have you been in contact with the victim?
No, his sister called me and told me that he was in Grady going through withdrawal and he wanted to talk to me because he needed my help. And that was it. I haven't spoken to him. And his sister called me and told me what he was going through. That's the only contact that I had. We also have 2 young children together and they haven't even seen their father or anything because of the situation that he's in.
Do you have the sister's number and name so you can provide it to the state so
Yes,
that
and
they can reach out to the sister?
Yes, and she will tell you the same thing.
Okay,
Are you able to put that in the chat for us, Ms. Lopez?
Yes. The sister, I can also send proof that the sister said today she doesn't want to deal with it because it's too much for her, but okay.
Any suggestions for what you'd like for me to do, Ms. Falk?
Your Honor, we are going to, Marcy's law is Marcy's law. We are going to reach out to the victim through the method.
You've been trying to reach out to him since December. No,
Ms. Lopez, we don't interrupt. I've given you your opportunity, so let me hear from Ms. Falk, all right? I understand that you're distressed, but you're gonna have to maintain yourself. I understand, Ms. Falk. My question was, would you like me to place this on another SAP calendar to give you all that opportunity to maybe?
Yes, we would, Your
forward?
Honor. Yes,
Okay.
please. Thank you.
All right. Would you like me to place it on a Thursday calendar or a week from today?
I would prefer this go back before you, Your Honor, so the 18th
Okay.
would be fine.
All right, so the best that we can do, Ms. Lopez, is place this back on a calendar on the 18th. Is that okay? I understand your situation, Ms. Lopez. That's the best we can do. Is that okay? You're gonna mute her if you're gonna be disrespectful, Ms. Lopez. Okay? I understand that I understand that you're emotional about this, but I'm not gonna allow you to be disrespectful to the court.
No,
Okay, I'm not gonna allow you to talk over me. I'm doing the best I can to try to help you. All right, Mr. Adams, is that okay with you?
It's okay, yeah. I'll try to explain to her what's going on.
Okay, I appreciate that. So I'm gonna place you back on my calendar for a week from today on 2/18. That's a 9 o'clock calendar, and maybe we can move this case along at that time.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Adams, you're gonna have to go ahead and prepare that set aside for me and get that to the court. You'll send that to Ms. Strong.
Okay, and then what's that email?
Ms. Strong, is your email in the chat already?
Yes, sir, it is, but I'll put it back in there.
Okay, it'll be in the chat, Mr. Adams.
Okay, thank you a lot, y'all.
All right, so I'll see you next week.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, courtroom 2, are you still with me?
What is it? Mercy law.
Yes, Your Honor, we're still here.
Okay, so where are we now?
We actually don't have anybody else in the courtroom. I
All
believe
right.
everybody on our end.
Okay, so I see that we still have position number 1. Have you been able to speak with that person, Mr. White?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, Judge. Yeah, I didn't make the announcement. He's reset to 218. The state's resetting that to put together several other cases, apparently.
Okay, thank you. So we'll reset position number 1 until next week. Position number 33. What are we doing with
State's asking to
Mr.
transfer
Lyons?
that. That's I don't the transfer. I don't know if the transfer has been accepted.
Ms. McConkey?
I don't think we've gotten word back from the DA regarding a transfer, but we did ask that it be transferred based on his history.
We
Okay,
have not received a response at this time, Your Honor. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, no, you didn't. Thank you. We'll reset to 218 as well. Position 36, what are we doing with Mr. Millen? I have an MHC. Is that
He's in, Mr. Mental Health Court, Judge.
okay? So do we have a date for that?
He
That we need to-
he goes back before Judge Kirk on Thursday.
On Thursday, okay, so MH on Thursday.
And what position was that, Your Honor?
36.
That was, yes,
Sorry, 37?
30, yeah, 36 through 38.
38. Thank you.
Okay. So that appears to take care of the 9 o'clock calendar. I know that we have some people on. Let's see, Mr. Cruz, are you with me on the DV bench warrant calendar?
You're muted, Mr. Cruz.
So while he's getting unmute, we also have a Jackson. Dante Dwan Jackson.
Okay, hello? Hello?
Yes, yes, good morning, Mr. Cruz. Who's
Hello?
gonna handle, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah.
Okay, have you spoken to him, Miss Kim, or do you need to speak with him?
I think we need a Spanish interpreter for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we don't have an interpreter online today. We're gonna have to reset this to get an interpreter. Can we reset it for Thursday? Is there someone in your, does someone speak English?
Sir, I'm here next to Mr. Cruz. If you would like to me to help him translate, that would be okay, but it's up to you guys. But if you want to reschedule, it's up to
No,
you guys.
we're gonna get an interpreter, a certified interpreter, so that for his case. So let him know that we're gonna reset this for Thursday, which is 2/13. Okay.
Okay, so this coming Thursday,
This coming Thursday at 11 o'clock. Okay.
right? Same way.
Same way. Yes. Okay.
Okay, and will
And
be mailed.
can we go ahead and get Mr. Cruz's number so that I can have a public defender contact him before next Thursday?
That would be nice. That would be nice.
Okay, are you able, sir, to put that in the chat for me? Are you able to do that?
Yes, sir. His number.
Okay. Yes, go ahead and place his number in the chat and let him know that a public defender will be reaching out to talk to him before next Thursday, okay?
Okay.
All right. And once you do that, you're gonna be free to go, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Let's see, is Mr. Jackson with me?
Hola, number, please.
Yes, I'm with you.
Okay, good morning, Mr. Jackson. Can we have someone speak with Mr. Jackson regarding his case?
I can,
Ms. Kemp, have you already spoken with Mr. Presley?
not yet, Your Honor. Presley, yes, I believe so. Just give me 1 second, Your Honor. I spoke with him. Yes. He wants to take the plea deal if possible.
Okay, so if that's the case, have we already addressed him? Have you already gotten the paperwork to him? Ms. Kim,
What kind of paperwork, Your Honor? I mean, the plea.
the plea paperwork?
I can do that for him. I can prepare.
Okay. Was there somebody else that was gonna take a plea today?
Yes, but then he will, it was reset to next Monday. His bench warrant was set aside.
Yes,
Okay.
we hadn't had a chance to talk to the victim in that case. And similar to this case, we've reached out to the victim here as well and have not. had an
Okay, so
opportunity to-
let's reset Mr. Presley until next, if he wants to take a plea till next Tuesday as well, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
And I take it that since he's gonna take a plea, that there will be no objection to setting aside the bench warrant so that he can come back next Tuesday. Is that fine, Ms. McConkey?
That's fine, Your Honor.
Okay, so thank you, Ms. McConkey. Ms. Kim and Mr. Jackson, I'll place you all into a breakout room. Ms. Kim, I believe that Mr. Jackson is going to be our last case. Is it okay if we go through the calendar while you're gone and you can get that from Mr. White? Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay. So, Mr. Jackson, I'm going to place you into a breakout room with Ms. Kim so that you can discuss. Mr. Presley, while you're still here, Ms. Kim, I'm going to see you back, Mr. Presley, on next Tuesday. To take a plea in your case. So Ms. Kim will be in touch with you before that time, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'll see you next week. All right, let's place Ms. Kim and Mr. Jackson into a breakout room, please.
Mr. Jackson is iPhone, correct?
Yes, that's correct. Okay. Ms. Strong, whenever you're ready.
Positions number 1 and 2 are reset for next Tuesday's SAP calendar. Position number 3 and 4 were a plea. Position number 5 is a plea. Position number 6 is waived arraignment, reset jail jury. 7 was a plea. 8 and 9 were a plea. 10, 11, 12, and 13 are reset to next Tuesday's SAP calendar. 14 was a plea. 15 and 16 are reset for next Tuesday's SAP calendar. 17 was a plea. 18 waived arraignment. 19 is reset for next Tuesday's SAP calendar. 20 and 21 were a plea. 22 is reset for next Tuesday's SAP calendar. 23 waived arraignment. That's also for position 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, and 29. 30, 31, 32 were a plea. I'm sorry, I missed the announcement on position number 33.
Preset 218 pending transfer to the DA.
$34 is reset for next Tuesday's SAP calendar. 35 was a plea. 36, 37, and 38 are part of the misdemeanor mental health court. 39 was a plea. 40 was an amended bond, was a $2,000 signature bond through, was it through pretrial or through the jail?
Through pretrial, I believe. I don't believe I sent anything through the jail today.
Okay. Was there a level or no?
Level 1.
Position 41 was a plea. 42 was null pros. 43 and 44. Also position 45 were a plea. 46, 47, 48, 49 are reset for next Tuesday's SAP calendar. 50 was a plea, 51 waived arraignment, 52 and 53 were a plea, and position 54 is null pros.
Can I get the announcement on 51 again?
51 waived arraignment.
Okay.
And on the add-on calendar, Mr. Brown's case is being returned to the division. All 4 cases. Did I miss anything?
I don't think so.
Okay, so I think the only case that we have left is on the DV bench warrant calendar, and as soon as they return, we'll take that case up.
We're ready, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Falk, I take it that Mr. Jackson missed a court date.
Your Honor, that Ms. Mukake will be handling that. Thank you.
Oh, okay, thank you. Yes, Ms. McCockey.
He did miss a court date. He, it seems to be a trend. He missed a plea and arraignment calendar before Judge Dixon on the 24th.
Okay, Ms. Kim?
He says that was the first failure to appear, and he thought his court date was February 4, so he came to the court to appear, but then that's when he found out that the court date was missed. We would like to request for a first-time excuse for failure to appear.
So, Mr. Jackson, did you get you got the hearing notice and just went on the wrong date? Is that what you're telling me?
I went on the wrong date because when I talked to my probation officer, I think that day it snowed. I'm supposed to went down there that day, so she gave me like I had talked to her and I thought she told me like the other day, like I think the 4th. I forgot what day it was. Then when I went down there, she told me like you had a court date you supposed to went to the other day, and I was like, oh, I thought it was the day. She was like, no, it was the other day.
Okay, so Mr. Jackson, my concern is I want to make sure that you're getting the notices. So you're telling me that you received the notice, is that right?
But she had called me when it snowed, so it was like confusing. So when I went down there, she was like, it was the other day.
Okay,
So
you're still not understanding my question. I want to make sure that the next time you don't miss the court date. So I want to make sure that we have your correct address.
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay, and so as far as this notice goes, did you get a notice and you just got the date wrong, or did you
Yes,
not
sir.
get a note? Oh, is that what happened?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we don't need to update your address. We have the proper address. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, all right, so you're gonna have to make sure to look at those notices and make sure that you don't miss another court date. I'll set this one aside, but if this happens again, the next one won't be set aside, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, so Ms. Kim, if you'll go ahead and prepare that set aside and get it to Ms. Strong.
Yes.
You'll get a notice for your next court date with Judge Dixon. Mr. Jackson, I suggest you don't miss the next one, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, you have a good day, sir.
All right, sir.
All right, thank you all, everyone. I think that completes our calendars for this morning. I will see you next Tuesday.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.